UConn vs. UCLA Women's Final Four. Paige Bueckers will participate in the national championship game to cap off her remarkable career at UConn. The Wooden Award candidate contributed to the number 2 seed Huskies' resounding victory against top overall seed UCLA in Friday's Women's NCAA Tournament Final Four at Tampa, Florida's Amalie Arena. With Friday's victory, the 6-foot guard from Hopkins, Minnesota, reversed the outcome of his Final Four participation the previous year. Under renowned coach Gino Arima, Bueckers and company will now aim for the program's March 12th Madness Championship. Before Friday's game, the Huskies had been sizzling hot for the presumptive number 1 overall choice in this month's WNBA draft. Bueckers averaged 29 points per game in playoffs going into Friday, with a total of 105 points scored. Despite not playing at that level against the Bruins on Friday, Bueckers, who was named the Regional 4 Spokane Most Outstanding Player, nonetheless dominated the Huskies' stat sheet. Paige Bueckers' points today in Final Four. Bueckers' stat line against UCLA in the Final Four is as follows: 16 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists and 2 steals. Percentage of 3 field goals, 41.1%, 7-17. 0%. 0 of 3 is the 3-point shooting percentage. Percentage of free throw shooting, 66%, 2 of 3. Paige Bueckers' stats 2024-25 at UConn. Before Friday's matchup with UCLA, these are the UConn Bueckers season stats: 20.1 points, 4.4 rebounds, 4.8 assists, 2.1 steals, and a 54.3% field goal percentage. 43.2% is the 3-point shooting percentage. 88.8% is the free throw shooting percentage. Following Friday, below is a breakdown of Bueckers' performance in each game of this year's Women's NCAA Tournament. First-round matchup against Arkansas State: 34 points on 14 of 21 shooting with 4 assists, 4 steals, and 3 rebounds. Against Oklahoma, Sweet 16, 40 points on 16 of 27 shooting with 6 rebounds, 3 steals, 2 blocks, and an assist. 11 points on 5 of 9 shooting with 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and a rebound. Against South Dakota State, second round. Against UCLA, Final Four: 16 points on 7 of 17 shooting with 5 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 assists. Against USC, Elite 8, 31 points on 9 of 18 shooting with 6 assists, 4 steals, 3 rebounds, and 2 blocks. After winning handily to start the women's Final Four on Friday night, the Connecticut Huskies and South Carolina Gamecocks will face off in the national championship game. In the first of 2 semifinal games in Tampa, the reigning champion Gamecocks overcame an early deficit to defeat the Texas Longhorns 74-57. In the first few minutes of the first quarter, the Longhorns jumped out to a 12-4 lead. CeCe Madison Booker, the Player of the Year, scored 6 points in the opening 10 minutes of play, giving the impression that she was ready to lead an upset. However, the remainder of the game was controlled by South Carolina, who defeated Texas 20-16, 20-9, and 16-13 in the second, third, and fourth quarters, respectively. The Gamecocks had a balanced offensive line, with 10 different players contributing points. Tahina Paupau, a senior guard who scored 14 points, led them. Joyce Edwards, a rookie forward, also contributed 13 points off the bench. The area in which South Carolina excelled was defense. The Longhorns turned the ball over 14 times and were only able to shoot 39.3% from the field. After a scorching start, Booker ended up having a forgettable game, ending with 11 points, 1 rebound, and 0 assists. For the third time in 4 seasons, the Gamecocks will now play in the national championship game. Dawn Staley, the head coach, will be attempting to win her 4th championship since 2017. The Huskies, who were defeated by the Gamecocks in the 2022 final, will be ready for South Carolina in the championship game. In a dominant effort on both ends of the court, Connecticut defeated the UCLA Bruins 85-51 on Friday. The Huskies stunned the Bruins on defense by opening the game with a zone look. Lauren Betts, a center, finished with 26 points, the only player from UCLA to score in double figures. The Bruins turned the ball over 19 times and shot only 38.5% from the field as a unit. On the offensive end, where a number of Connecticut players had a strong game, the bullying persisted. Azzi Fudd, a senior guard, was scorching, making 7 of 12 shots to score 19 points. Sarah Strong, a freshman forward who contributed 22 points of her own, was a huge help to her. Even though senior guard Paige Bueckers had a very quiet night, the Huskies dominated and only needed to score 16 more points to win. Unable to match Connecticut's energy, UCLA never seemed at ease on either end of the court. The Bruins team, who finished the regular season undefeated by any team other than the USC Trojans, had a disastrous season finale. After losing to South Carolina 64-49, the Huskies will now play in their first championship game in 3 years. Since 2016, Connecticut has not taken home a national championship. Final: UConn 85, UCLA 51. The national championship game is on the horizon for the Huskies. Connecticut was all over the Bruins from the first tip, and what a dominating performance they put on. With 22 points, Sarah Strong led the Huskies, followed by Azzi Fudd with 19 and Paige Bueckers with 16. The only UCLA player to score in double digits was Lauren Betts, who finished first overall with 26 points. 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday, UConn will play South Carolina for the national title.